Oh, hi, didn't see you there. I was practicing for my next circus routine. But today's science. And today we'll be doing a catapult. And my name is Austin, and I'll be taking you through today's lesson. Okay. Yeah. So, in today's lesson, I'll be going over 3 definitions of what a catapult is and what it does, along with a little illustration. And so I have 2 written down, one will be coming up soon. And for the first definition, a catapult launches an object, giving it both vertical, meaning going up, and horizontal speed, so going out towards a longer plane. So when you run, you're going horizontal. When you climb the ladder, you're going up. And then for the next one, the gravity will pull the launched object to the ground. So as it goes up, it's going to come straight back down because gravity is pulling it down. But when it gets launched to begin with, it has a lot of force going in an upward and outward direction. But then after a certain point, such as right here, it starts to go down. So those first 2 definitions were what a catapult does. Here is what a catapult is. A device in which accumulated tension is suddenly released to hurl an object some distance. So when you pull back the catapult and it releases, you're shooting it somewhere or at something back in the days when a catapult was first used in war. And when a catapult releases, it is angled a certain way to be able to shoot it up and outwards, which is why they said vertical speed, meaning it shoots upward, meaning it goes up, not only up, not just straight up, but also at horizontal speeds, which goes outwards too. So with the combination of the 2, they're at 90-degree angles, and together they meet at a certain point, and they go outwards, such as like this. And then it comes and hits the target or hits the enemies, because back then, Greeks and Romans used catapults 2,000 years ago. So this is an ancient thing that everyone has used, and now we have more complicated ways of getting a large object to somebody else in war. But now catapults are made for more competition based. So they launch pumpkins, watermelons, and other fun things that I'm sure you've seen online. You should check those out, by the way, too. Those are a lot of fun to watch because people launch huge watermelons and pumpkins the size of this board out in huge fields, and it just explodes when it hits the ground. And it's a lot of fun to watch. I recommend that. So, with all this being said, let's get down to making the project today. So, let's begin making our project. And at the very end, yours should look a little something like this. But instead of using jumbo popsicle sticks, we are going to use regular sized popsicle sticks. So here's all the material you're going to need. You're going to need 7 popsicle sticks. They don't have to be colored. I'm just using it just so that way it's a little bit easier for you to see. You need 2 jumbo popsicle sticks. You need not just 1, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for good measures, just in case one rubber band breaks. They could be any size, but typically you want something smaller so that way they have a little bit more stretch to them. And all you need is 1 spoon, and plastic is preferred because it does flex a little bit more. Metal won't be as flexible. So let's begin with stacking all of these up on top of each other. And by doing so, we're giving the catapult something to sit on. Because then, now you take your jumbo popsicle stick, you place it just on top. Could be anywhere for now, because right now we're going to attach our spoon to the bridge of our catapult first. So that way nothing moves around, and it'll be a lot easier to move the spoon around to attach it to the main popsicle stick here. So First things first, you're going to take your rubber band, loop it under, and then what you're going to do is you're going to have to lift up the entire thing. And then take the underside and then take it and put it like that. And see how mine's too loose? You want to make sure that you double knot it so that way it doesn't come off too loose. That way it becomes a little more tight. And then you want to do the same thing with the other side too. So now the popsicle won't stick, or it won't move around. So now we can move on to the other rubber band. And what I like to do, since this rubber band is very large, I like to knot it once, so loop it around so that we have a smaller rubber band. Or you can do it another time, but I like doing 2 just to begin with. And so when you first do it, you want to make sure that the spoon has some way of arch or some way of being able to bend back. So this is too short. Unless you want it that way, then you're more than welcome to do it that way. But I, for one, want it a little more forward. So that way it sits up a little higher. And as you can see, the angle is a little bit higher. So that way it'll launch further out. So to begin with, put it as closest to the popsicle stick as you can and just keep twisting it until either you can't do it anymore or you think it's enough times. So now you can hold it here and boing. Now it's a catapult. And to make it extra stable, we're going to use one more rubber band, but this time we're going to do it from front to back, connecting the spoon to this popsicle again. So we're going to loop it over, and then the rubber band is underneath, and you're going to loop it forward again. And again, there's too much of it. So you want to twist it and then loop it around. And then once it's upside down, on the underside I mean, you want to loop it again and do it one more time. And I think that should do. And then for this side, it's still a little loose, so I'm just going to do it one time. And again, you have multiple rubber bands to make it extra stable. And as you can see, I have 3 extra, so we are good to go and done with our project. And as you can see, it is just about the same. Only difference is in between them is this one is jumbo popsicle sticks as the bridge. This is just regular size, and obviously the colors of the base. And this one is just here just in case this one breaks because of how much tension is going through with the rubber bands and holding everything together. So this is just a safety, as well as your other rubber bands. Keep those handy because over time your rubber bands will degrade, start to get crusty, and then break. But thankfully you have extra rubber bands and other materials so that way you can build this again and repair it if you want. So here is our finished project, and so all I have is a little piece of balled up masking tape, and you hold it by the front, you hold it by the back here, make it have more stability, and whoop, it goes up mainly more than out, but you'll get the idea of what it can do. And so you can always add more popsicle sticks, but just remember, the more tilt you add to your spoon, the less tension you need right here. So always keep that in mind. You're more than welcome to modify it, make it your own catapult, make it better than how I showed you. I'm just here to show you on how to do a simple project. And so you can make something such as this, as I have made for another school project at the after school programs for science that we would do. And so this one, you take the ball, you put it in, you hold it firmly, and give it a good launch. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Our information is all labeled right here beautifully, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.